All right. Well, here we are with another week two match. We've got a big matchup here: Oof versus UTD. Uh, the Torpedo Brooks, and with me, Super Bobby Guru.
Hi there.
What's going on, dude?
Uh, I'm good. Just finished playing D&D and now I'm ready for some League.
Yeah, and speaking of League, we actually are jumping right into pick ban. We quickly see Oof with banning Anivia and Lowy right off the bat, answered by Lysandra and Renekton from UTD. So very interesting bans right away.
Very interesting, but I'm just going to say PMA LCS is known for comfort picks, and I think these bans are more directed towards the comfort picks of people rather than per se the OPs of the current meta.
Yeah, absolutely. We also see it looks like it is a Caitlyn ban. Yep. Oh, and then a quick response with the J4 ban. From
And we're waiting for that first pick on blue side for Oof. What are you looking for first pick wise if you're Oof?
it's a little tough here.
They're going to blind pick the Vel'Koz, giving UTD a chance to pick their jungle and ADC, Ashe and Graves.
That's very interesting. This whole thing is very interesting. I feel like I use interesting a lot. We've seen we see a lot of blind picks here now, so it kind of gives both teams the ability to counter each other, and that's not something that I really see. I usually, at least in the games that I've experienced, see if a mid lane gets dropped, you quickly kind of see the other mid lane falling apart, and we're not seeing that here yet.
Yeah, and Oof is going to lock in that Leona, which is really good against Ashe if you think about it. Stationary ADCs are easy to land ultis on Leona, and the lock-in on Rek'Sai as well. And currently in the meta, Rek'Sai 8 with Conqueror is very strong. You're able to survive most damage with ulti and still be able to apply a lot of damage and get that Conqueror stacks.
Yeah. This is looking to be a very scary team for Oof, right? With the Vel'Koz and the Rex, along with that Leona CC, like that's scary.
Yeah. And the last banning phase, Oof went for the Xerath ban mid, and UTD banned Sivir and Darius, and we're waiting for the last ban from Oof. I'm thinking they're more going towards mid lane bans, and yep, they banned out the Jace and picks Zilean for UTD.
And that's most likely going to be a Zilean mid lane.
Yep, unless by some chance Flex Zilean top, but since the nerfs of Klepto Frost Queen's nerf, I don't think it'll be that.
Ooh, and then we see the Ornn pickup on the other side.
Yeah, the Oof is definitely not lacking in engage. While UTD has an Ashe arrow to engage on. And waiting for the last pick of Oof, they're going to lock in Ezreal Leona. Yep. Ezreal Leona bot lane. It's a really strong bot lane right now. Double tier Ezreal did not get nerfed this patch. Maybe it'll see some nerfing next patch. And they're going to pick up the Malphite top lane. So we're going to be seeing a lot of 5v5 team fights. They're both really good team fight oriented comps. Uh, what do you think about these teams so far?
I really think that at least just based off of the champion that we've got, I think that OOF has a stronger burst team. You've got Vel'Koz and Rex that are able to just put insane amounts of damage out quickly. And then you have Ezreal with the consistent damage to follow, all while being CC'd from Leona and Ornn. And I just don't that same setup from UTD. I mean, yes, you've got Malphite, um, and Malphite really is your only source on that team. Um, so that's kind of concerning for me as well as a just looking at these two teams at least. And if you have two tanks in Leona and Ornn, and I think that's going to be a difference maker.
Yeah, for sure. I think that OOF has a greater advantage mid game as well as. But if UTD gets into that late game, we're going to see some very effective Zillion ultis, Malphite ultis, just a lot of good late game comp. But it's going to be hard to find that if they don't find the early picks. In OOF, they're going to play off Hansu's Rek'Sai. Elucida is known for early jungle pressure as well as, and Rek'Sai is perfect for pathing aggressive on his W.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting here. I think we're at that point where we can start making some predictions. Who takes this first game then with
Game
everything?
one, game one. I'm going to say OOF takes. Just Hansu's presence early game is going to dictate how the game is going to go, as well as their OOF's bot lane is tremendously stronger early level 2 skirmish than UTD's bot. And if they can get that engaged early on in the bot lane, it'll be a really hard game to play for UTD.
Yeah, I think I would agree. So let's take this a little step further. So who's the individual player?
So some players to look out for this game would definitely be Hansu as well. That would be Elucida, as well as Necro Guy. In terms of Necro Guy has an amazing Vel'Koz, and it's definitely something to be looked at banning wise for future people who I'm not exploiting. I'm just saying he has such a good Vel'Koz mid lane. And on the side of UTD, I think the people to look out for would be Maya and Hiramar. They seem like they work very well together, as well as Maya on Graves is just nothing to be think less of, because he's an amazing jungler. Although he lacks in CC, he'll make up for damage.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting here because I think both teams are coming into this matchup with the chip. Both teams went 0-2 in their matches in week one. So obviously has to come out, winning this matchup. So I think it'll be very interesting. But like I said earlier, I think at least on if oh, I lost my train of thought. Let's see if OOF can get to that mid game and secure things pretty well by then. I think this game is in the bag for them. So UTD just has to survive to that late game and see if it can choke them off.
Yeah, like I said before, mid game OOF has a really good scaling into. But I'm excited to see what Lulu can do in the back. There's a lot of champions that can be polymorphed, and if I were OOF, it'd be hard to play against. For me, especially, I think of Lulu and playing against Lulu. It's hard to engage when you're polymorphed. So they can't
Right.
find the right Leona engage, they might be overextended, and if they don't kill them fast, and has a chance to uh, change the change the pace of the game.
Yeah. That's um just kind of looking at some of the summoner spells here. Pretty standard, nothing out of the usual here. Um, looks like they're going to be looking to be pretty aggressive in that bot lane with the Leona, whereas the as UTD is looking safe pick with the exhaust on, which will also help, slow down the Rex by late game and Ezreal as needed. So I'm pretty excited about this. This is gonna be a good match.
Yeah, there's a lot on both teams who had greater, and I'm excited what he has in store for their.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to go into spectate delay now. So the game will be starting shortly. But what other what other comments can we make? Right, we've covered a lot of ground pretty quickly. I think.
Yeah, uh, I think early game pressure for both teams is really important to see which lanes get far ahead. Ornn versus Malphite is kind of a stalemate, just because Malphite has really good sustain, has armor. Ornn, same as well, has better CC early on. But if Malphite can scale up to that level 6 and you get a good gank from Graves, you could see top lane be favored for UTD, and I think that can backpack them into a good scaling into late game, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think if Hansu focuses more mid and bot side, you're going to see a stronger bot lane focus for Oof.
Yeah, I agree. Now, let's see. Do we think that with these team setups here, do you think we'll see any spicy invades or any maybe possible like level 2 ganks or anything like that? Or you think everybody plays pretty safe?
Invade wise, I could see Oof invading. Rek'Sai does have a possibility to start W if Leona wants to start Q and somehow manage to get a flash Q into W into Ornn E. But I don't know if that'll necessarily happen.
Mm-hmm.
I could see more of a defensive 5 by UTD preventing any early invade, because they do not have the level 1 CC at all. They have an Ashe slow and potentially a polymorph, but nothing big.
Yeah, and then we've got in Twitch chat here, John is saying that that's a lot of risk for a maybe play, and I think I absolutely agree with that. Unless you're 100% certain that you're going to get something out, it's very risky.
Yeah.
And looks like we'll get ready to load into the game now and see what this match has to bring. So I think my final prediction. I don't think I said it earlier, but I think that Oof takes this one. Takes this, at least just based off of what I'm seeing in the champs select.
Yeah, I do see a strong or at least for us casters, a strong favor for Oof. I just think they picked champions that work well together.
Hmm.
Not saying that UTD didn't, but I think the more synergizing comp is with Oof.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Skin wise, which team wins?
Ooh, I don't know. You've got you've got Arclight Vel'Koz, and that's pretty badass skin.
Yeah, but
I've always been a fan of that.
Cosmic
But
Enchantress Lulu is amazing, and Mecha Malphite.
that's true. So that's true. So on skins, UTD wins. So let's see if they can hold that down. She also got Pool Party Leona over there just chilling on the beach. So it doesn't seem like she's too concerned about what's about to happen.
And I see that if we're looking at the runes of everyone, we're seeing the Conqueror Rek'Sai, as well as press the attack Ash instead of lethal tempo. What do you think about that?
Hmm. I think that if I was the Ash, I probably would have taken Lethal Tempo here. That's a very interesting pick, I think, for Ash
Yeah,
to have.
I also do see the secondary tree is usually inspiration for Ash, so she can get the free boots as well as one of the secondary runes is
Hmm.
you move towards enemies faster while they're slowed or impaired, which helps out with the chasing or mostly for chasing. But since they have a Lulu, I think they're going more for early game pressure because they're going to need it versus Leona and Ezreal. And press the attack does allow them to get a little bit more damage. And Malphite, instead of Grasp, he's running Arcane Comet. So I don't know if we're going to see an AP Malphite or not.
I was just,
Usually,
yeah, I was just thinking the same thing there. I was a little confused by that rune pick
I've
there.
I've seen some tank Malphites run Arcane, but it's kind of getting phased out, and people are more favoring Grasp if you're running tank.
Yeah.
And as we're starting up the game, we're seeing pings on the top side by red, as well as blue side. And as we said, red starting a defensive 5,
Hmm.
and Elusive is maybe looking to get some vision. And looks like they're going to run into Sebastian. Sebastian flashes out early, not getting a kill
Immediately.
immediately, yeah.
You know what? And I think that's the safe thing to do there. You could save your flash for resourceful time, but I think you also, if you can prevent an early kill like that, then I think that's a good thing to do.
Well, I think you're just delaying the early kill because I know Hansu is going to be looking to gank top lane for a guaranteed kill if Sebastian looks to overextend since he doesn't have a flash. And looks like both sides are starting bot lane. Oh, no, never mind. Maya is going to opt for the leash and get a leash red side as Hansu's going to start red side as well.
Yeah.
Maya is maybe going to look for an earlier clear to maybe get a vertical jungle, but blue side did a very good job of warding the pixel brush in the jungle. Freedom Penguin getting a couple of early volleys in to get some damage. Now, Sebastian, Uncle Jemima getting some early Qs in, Malphite. Arcane Comet does do a lot of damage early level. Maybe he's looking to pressure out the Ornn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have the time all the way up or whatever.
Okay, what time are you at?
I'm at 227. 228 and
27,
counting.
28, 29. Okay, now you're on the same page.
Yeah.
34,
34.
35,
Yep.
Yeah,
we're good.
36.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, and it looks like Orange just took the scuttle crab from Graves. That, don't see that every day.
Ooh.
Now, Maie opted for the vertical, and Hansu's reading that is going to go for Maie's blue. No contest from both lanes. It looks like Vel'Koz is happy to farm mid as well as Ornn to farm top.
Now, speaking of farm, that is my absolute favorite set when I cast, and it's so important. But right now we see a huge starting to develop in the mid lane as Vel'Koz is at currently 23 farm versus 24 now, and if you're not careful, that can escape you pretty quickly. And I think that's just a matchup you don't want to let slip away because of a CS.
Yeah, it's hard to lane against Vel'Koz, that's for sure. And Jumper J's Vel'Koz is nothing to. Oh, and it looks like Maie's going to get the barrier from Vel'Koz. Not going to get the kill though. Elucida with the first blood, flashing in with his Q, maybe looking to get more, but ease forward, knocks up the Maie. Does not get the kill, but man, what a great play early on. You don't see kill confirms with Rek'Sai's burrowed Q, but today you do. And Elucida's looking to invade Maie's jungle, catches out Maie, trying to get into his jungle to get raptors, but Hansu's just really good at keeping the tempo and pressure up in the early game. Hirmar looking to stop Hansu's. Oh, no, but he's just going to E away. Now, what I was saying before with Hansu, looking for mid and bot, Elucid is really good at trying to find those early picks. And after Jumper J got in a couple of very good early poke, it was just easy for Hansu to clean up with a flash Q. Now as lanes are pushing out, you see bot side looking more towards the poke in Frida Penguin and Wheels on the Bus is not allowing It's Your Boy and Mudkips to get in and engage, which is favored more towards the red side, but if Mudkips just farms up and waits till late game, it's like going even against an Ezreal lane. You're actually behind because of the Klepto procs, and we're not seeing a lot of pressure given from It's Your Boy, and that may hurt them in the future because if you allow a free farming Ez, it just scales into a tier, into a Sheen, and then once he gets 2 items, it's kind of hard to beat that.
Yeah, for sure. We are getting some questions in Twitch chat about who is Hansu. Hansu is Elucida.
Yep.
I'm probably butchering that name, but we'll make sure that we're
more clear
using those names. Yeah, using those names clearly for you.
Okay.
Apologize for, but looking at gold lead right now, it looks. I mean, it's been a pretty consistent, almost 2K gold from Oof right now, and I mean that's not insignificant by any means, and a lot of that the CS differential top lane was struggling. You had Uncle Jemima up there kind of struggling to find Necro guy, and now Uncle Jemima's caught up a little bit, and I think that's impressive. But there's still some sort of a struggle in the mid good lane there with farm, but not as bad as it could. And a pretty CS trading in the bot lane too, by Mudkips and Freedom Penguin. So, and that's been a pretty quiet bot lane so far.
Great, especially because you have such a good engage for Leona, but the poke from red side is from UTD is just too strong right now in the early game. Can't really seem to find the right engage.
Yeah, we see a little bit of poking going on in the bot lane, and but nothing there to get a confirm.
Oh, and it looks like Necro Guy is going to knock up Uncle Jemima. Not getting the kill, but a lot of damage pressed into the top lane. If he's not backing, I could see a potential dive in top lane.
And you do have Elocita in top side jungle who could easily swim and help that dive.
Yep.
And he's kind of leaning that way. It looks like I do see him possibly heading towards the top side.
He could be pathing for try up, and he pings his way there.
He does.
We might see an Horn into a dive. Uncle Jemima does have his flash up. We're going to see if he's going to flash or not. He gets his ulti up. Great pathing by Maya. And getting the shutdown from Elucida. But 1-for-1 trade. Maya is going to continue to farm his jungle. And it looks like the dive was partially good for Oof, but UTD got something back in their favor for a kill for Maya, which Maya is known to carry on Grace. We're gonna see how well he can carry this game.
Yeah,
it looks like Maya is going to grab the scuttle. It's not gonna get it taken from him earlier on like last time.
Yeah, and shutdown gold is huge in these types of matchups. So for Maya to get that shutdown on Elucida, that's gonna potentially be something to bring them back into this early to mid game.
Yeah, that would be around 450 gold, or maybe a little bit more since he was 3-0. So. Maybe 500 or 600, and Elucida is just going to take the dragon, solo dragon, and you just have no vision on dragon.
And that was a Cloud Drake too.
Cloud Drakes are the most underrated dragons in my opinion, because you're going to see a lot of good transitions, and it looks like both bot lane, the jungles are on both bot lanes, and a flash ulti by Wheels on the bus. Ezreal ulti into... and Elucida goes down. Maya gets picked up. Ezreal trying to get the kill, but not. But Jumper J is going to look to clean up. But Hiramar is running in with a Q, blocking off Jumper J. And UTD picks up a great bot lane skirmish early on in the game. Wow. I could not play that at all, but Maya almost dying to turret. I don't know what's happening, but Humar, turret OP, Humar following Jumper J into bot lane, picks up a kill. But yeah, I think that skirmish first started with Wheels on the Bus flash ultiing in, which is amazing but very risky, but that risk paid off.
Yeah, and that even with that, now the gold swings to UTD's favor. That's going to be huge, and like we talked about before the game started, if they can survive, we're getting to enter into that mid-game phase now. So if they can survive, they could very well have a chance. Then we've got Twitch chat too. Saying that last fight was and I would have to agree for our oof friends here.
Oh, and it looks like Ash Arrow's coming in with a TP from behind. Leona going to block off that TP with an ulti, and Mudkips gets ultied on by Uncle Jemima the Malphite. And Lulu picking up the kill. A lot of resources get given down in the bot lane, but it's looking like they're going to trade turrets and Lucida uses Rift Herald top lane, trying to get the early first turret gold, and it looks like they will, but we'll see if UTD can make up for that first turret and get second turret in the bot lane. It's not looking with the turret plating that they can do so. So, oof, making a really good objective trade while UTD gotta kill bot lane, and it looks like Ornn is going to ulti in on Maya. Jumper J with the ulti on Vel'Koz, not enough damage, and Jumper J almost dying to turrets because turrets OP. Lucida looking to get the tier 2 turret. Wow. So objective control on oof is very strong, and you're seeing the rotations and reaction based on what UTD is doing is perfect, because if you're going to get a TP dedication from Uncle Jemima, they're going to say, hey, you're going to go bot lane, we're going to go top lane, we're going to take Rift Herald, and it looks like Freedom Penguin is ulting in on Lucida, gets ultied by Lulu, Leona ulti onto the Ashe, Burrow from Lucida gets the kill. I think Zillion misclicked the ulti.
Oops.
Necro guy clears out a ward. And with Wheels on the Bus dying on UTD's side and Lucida dying on Oof's side, you're going to see a 4v4 ARAM in the mid lane. Jirma and Freedom Penguin are going to have to back their low health. And a Necro guy looking to get the knockup, gets the knockup. Uncle Jemima with the ulti onto Hitsy Boy and Jumper J. Freedom Penguin volleying to the horn, does not get the kill, but does get the flash. And what a series of events happening in the mid lane. Both teams are looking to get every inch of kill pressure and objective trade into these fights, while gold is exactly the same. 2 turrets onto Oof, 0 turrets onto UTD, but both are looking to set up for this dragon. So your boy gets the vision, and Jumper J with the nasty ulti, but gets Lulu ulti. I think every action has a reaction from both sides, and they're playing this very well.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. They're swaying the gold scale on both sides. So much skirmishing happening, and
Well, yeah.
really no kills resulting from it, which is a testament to both teams that they're able to find a way out before it's too late.
Yeah, and it's looking like Oof is trying to get this bot lane turret. We'll see if UTD can respond quick enough. And it looks like they will. Maya going in with the ulti. Gets a great stun by Hiramar. Double kill for Maya on that Graves. And that is the best gold you can put on the carry. Both carries, Ashe and Graves, have bounties on their head because they're just getting kill after kill. And UTD looking to get the bot lane objective. A little bit of a misplay by Oof, trying to get more than what they could actually get. Bite off more than what they could chew, I guess you could say. Yeah. And it looks like Maya and UTD are going to try and get this Earth Dragon early on in the game. Uncle Jemima looking to zone off Lucida from any potential steal. Looks like he will do that, and the red team gets the early Earth Drake, which is important. in all of this game, although Cloud Drake is the most underrated dragon, Earth Dragon is the most important dragon, followed by Infernal Drake, from my opinion. You're able to get objectives faster, you can get Baron at a faster rate. And especially on their team, they have 2 ADs, including Ashe and Graves, and those both can do a lot of damage on a turret if left alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, we just kind of see another ARAM of sorts, almost, kind of.
Wheels on the bus getting poked by Vel'Koz's Qs. Good double Q by Hiramon. Oh, just trading damage by damage. Both have good poke comps. One given by Zillion and the other given by Jumper J, but right now it looks like Jumper J is doing a great job staying healthier than Hiramar is. More Qs mean more damage. It might be a little bit harder for UTD to fend off this mid lane, as Hiramar is almost taken down by the poke range that Jumper J has. And like we were saying before this game, Vel'Koz is great in the mid to late game, and it's showing. Oof gets the mid lane objective, while UTD has to back in the base from low health. It looks like before they're just really controlling the map objectively. Maybe might not have the same amount of kills, but you're going to find every inch, every sliver of possible objective control they can get inched out by just smaller details of positioning and poke.
Yeah, and looking at objectives here, we've got Oof, who's been able to take 3 towers now. Almost got the bot lane tier 1 down, and UTD has only been successful at getting 1 tower.
I'm going to interrupt for a second, and Maie looking to get the dive and gets the kill on Jumper J with explosive amount of damage from ulti. Graves is looking to be very strong right now as they get the mid lane turret, and now it's looking like Oof is back on the back of their feet, on their heels, as Uncle Jemima looking to push top while looking to dive the Ornn. Maie once again. Oh, an Ashe arrow misses, and Ornn is able to get away with his life, but they're going to get the top lane turret, and now it's 3 turrets to 3 turrets, and UTD is up 3k gold from Oof.
And Oof is exactly what I say to that too. I was literally about to praise Oof for their objective control, and just like that, UTD decides that they're not going to settle for 1 turret anymore. They're going to get 2 within like 30. So that's good movement on the map.
Yeah, and it just looks like they were able to transfer those kills given on their carries into good 4v5s, or something that Oof couldn't do, so they would have to give up objectives instead of giving up kills.
And I think that having the with them UTD being able to get the that Earth Drake, that really helped regaining tower control.
Yep. And especially on 2 ADs, you're going to see turrets chunk faster in the mid game. As Uncle Jemima and Necroguy are just farming out mid lane. Decided to get out of top lane. Just gonna take these 2 tanks into the mid lane. Farm wise, we're seeing even in the jungle, about even in the bot lane, although Ezreal is up 10 gold or 10 CS, as well as having Klepto. Mid lane, Zillion's up, and top lane, the Malphite is up, so gold is kind of back and forth when it comes to CS, but these kills are really what's differentiating UTD from Oof.
Yeah.
And it looks like
Wow.
Looks like red team's going to get the untested, not can't think of the word. Uncontested, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, and they absolutely melted that dragon. Oof did not even have time to respond. And now you'll kind of see it looks like UTD is going to float over to the side and see if they can get some, maybe get a sneak 22, 23 minute there. And
I think they're just trying to get vision control, see if they can get a pick and transfer that into Baron. But Oof being very careful and not going in one by one, they're going to clear wards as a group and regain some vision on top side jungle. Excuse me. And Maya farming it out. He's level 13 as Lucid is level 12. And Hirmar level 13 compared to Jumper J's level 11. So we're seeing some level split in the mid lane and jungle. And that's going to help with smites, the amount of damage given to smites, as well as the damage on Zillion's Q's, time bombs. And we'll see cooldowns getting lesser and lesser. And if Oof doesn't find an answer soon, doesn't find an opening soon, we're going to see easy ultis given out by Zillion. Not easy, but ultis that can shift the fight. Maybe if Oof finds a good engage from the Leona.
yeah, and we see Necroguy sneaking down to the bot lane to secure that tier 1 tower there, which is very helpful for them. They're pretty behind in gold, so any gold they can get at this point is going to be helpful as a team.
Yeah, and as UTD's pushing out mid lane, Lucida is going to be pushing out the top lane, trying to get lane and wave control in the side lanes in favor for Oof to see if they can catch out UTD and maybe overextended in the enemy jungle, but they're doing great following each other in a group of 4 or 5 and not seeming to get picked out. But Maye, caught in the enemy jungle, gets knocked up by Ornn ulti, has to flash out, forcing the stun. Freedom Penguin gets knocked up by Jumper J. Both sides are walking out with using flashes and heals. Let's see which summoner spells we use. Maye flash, Freedom Penguin flash, and Wheels on the Bus flash on UTD side. While on Oof's side, Mudkips used heal, It's Your Boy used flash, Necroguy used flash, and Jumper J used flash. So a lot of summoner spells being used to try and engage and disengage, but it looks like spell advantage is in favor for UTD.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Several people escaping within inches of their life. And so it looks like each team's going to reset a little. Try that again, maybe. But yeah, like you said, they're going to be at a disadvantage now from summoner stuff. Oh.
And Ash has magic resist boots, Merc treads, trying not to get caught out as much from the Leona stuns, and that CC reduction helps tremendously when you're someone like Ash. And the ulti by It's Your Boy gets 3. Jumper J not connecting on the ulti. Uncle Jemima with a 4-man knockup from Malphite. Both sides are looking to zone out the other, and Freedom Penguin phase tanking but getting the kill from Ornn. Let's see if they can transfer that into something else. Oh, and Wheels on the Bus almost dying from Jumper J's Vel'Koz Q. So it's looking like a blind ulti from It's Your Boy, but they knew someone was in that brush from Elucida's Tremors, so it really wasn't blind, but kind of blind.
Yeah.
While UTD is trying to get the next Infernal Drake that's spawning. But we'll see if Oof has a response to that. Infernal being very important to both sides. No, it's not Infernal. My
It is
bad.
another
It's
hair drake.
I was looking at the next dragon. But next dragon, or Drake, would be Infernal. Ash going for the Blade of the Ruined King Runan's build instead of Infinity Edge Runan's. While Jumper Jay's getting a little poke on Maye. Maye's running a Death Dance, Black Cleaver into red jungle item, which is really strong build in my opinion. He's running Fleet Footwork, and with Death Dance he has lifesteal and damage. With his AoE spells he also gets healing from Death Dance. And as this game seems to be just farm up and then we'll get ready for the next team fight, 1,000 gold bounty is onto Graves' head, as well as a 700 gold bounty onto Ash. So if those two either go down, it could be a good shift into tempo by Oof, and they desperately need it right now, as the split is around 2k. Like earlier on, it was around 2k4 in favor for Oof. It looks like UTD flipped that on its head.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to start entering the late mid game, going into the late game here, and like a UTD.
Just an early skirmish, nothing big, but yeah, it's getting into that scary late game. Both sides have a really good late game, but UTD has more utility for the late game, including Zillion ulti and Malphite ulti, which are just very, very good into those post 30-minute games. And Graves, being the monster that he is, has just such an incredible damage off. We see two sweepers on the side of Oof, while UTD is opting in for one sweeper as they are going to start up this Baron. And we see if we can get a contest by Oof. As they're inching down, Baron's around half health. Elucida is trying to get around to look for the steal. So round one, no, and just out of time for Elucida to take the Baron. Maye takes the Baron. And getting their enhanced recalls. Baron is just such a good game closing objective. You're able to get empowered minions. You can run around the map with a 1-3-1 or a 4-1 and just pressure a side lane while keeping holding composure in mid lane or another lane that the opposing team is trying to shove. It's just an easy way to close out a game. As we see UTD looking towards the bot side to get pushed up, and Uncle Jemima in the top lane trying to run that 4v4-4-1 that I was speaking of, while Uncle Jemima has TP. And Hiramar does as well, so they could run a 1-3-1, but I think they're going to keep Hiramar with the other three. Looking to...
Oh, I was just going to say this is where things start to get out of control if Oof not careful here. UTD with the Baron is they were already strong without it. And now, they're going to be even stronger at this point. So these guys need to be very good.
Yeah. And a flash in from Maya, looking to get killed by Jumper. Jumper gets out. Necro guy does not get his horn, and Ash gets the kill. Wow, that's a lot of damage. And here we're almost dying to Jumper J's Qs. Maye looking to get an in-hit with the team. Oh, and the Ezreal team is killing off Hiramar, but doesn't get it. And Elucida trying to get into the burrowed Q also doesn't get it, while Uncle Jemima is simultaneously pushing top lane, while Mudkips is trying to fend off the Malphite, but Malphite just has too much armor right now.
Yeah, that's just a huge mismatch right there.
While UTD is going to recall and get more items from this gold lead that's just pushed into around 5.5k gold lead, 5.4k gold lead, or more like a 4.76, whatever. As UTD is going to start up the Infernal Drake. It doesn't look like Luke is going to contest him. Yep, free dragon for this UTD side. Because they're going to run it down mid. Freedom Penguin flashing forward, trying to get Mudkip's ulties on to him. Mudkips has to use his QSS to get out of there. Wow, that was a close one, but Ash having no flash, but Zillion, I have not yet seen a good Zillion ulti, but maybe this will be the time that he can use his ulti as UTD is pushing down. Horn gets ready to go, gets the knockup onto Ash. Elucida pushing to get the kill. Freedom Penguin, great knockup by Jemima Jumper J with the ulti, trying to get out. Necro Guy almost going down. Hits your boy, going down as well. Here almost got the stun Qs. Maye trying to go forward as Graves, but gets zoned out by the Vel'Koz. That is a 1-for-3 trade. Actually, it's a 2-for-3 trade as Jumper J gets the other kill onto Wheels on the Bus. Maye pushing out mid lane as Jumper J is getting the good Qs as he's holding on to Dear Life, trying to stop this UTD push as they do. And they do not end the game as they could have potentially. Kiramar holding on to that ulti, thinking that he actually didn't need it. He probably needed that Zillion ulti to save his life. He wasn't expecting that Vel'Koz damage out. Wow. Now, as I was saying before, from Freedom Penguin flashing forward, Oof did a great job on catching out the misplay by Freedom Penguin's Ash, and got the kill on early, or didn't get got the kill on early, I think. Yeah, she has no more shutdown gold, as this gold lead is around 6k. So we're going to see this late game gonna be inch for inch as Jumper J has an Ornn enhanced what's that item?
That is going to be Luden's Pulse instead of Luden's
Pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Luden's Pulse, instead of giving, how much AP is it usually? Instead of giving its original from Luden's Echo, it gets 120 ability power, 850 mana, and 10% cooldown, with a unique passive of 10% cooldown.
Yeah.
And UTD pushing out top lane, trying to get the last inhibitor. Jumper J trying to poke out UTD and preventing them from getting the last inhibitor tower that's holding them up. As these two lanes, in mid lane and bottom lane, are going to be pushing with inhibitor minions, it's going to be hard for Oof to not get it. Horn with the engage. Jumper J gets a great ulti. Uncle Jemima tries an ultis in with the Zonias from Jumper J. Maye all going down very low. Lucida looking for the burrow knockup, gets the knockup onto Hiramar. Ultis Hiramar gets the kill. Lucida dying in return, but what a great defense by Oof. But while they were getting defense, their base is just getting controlled by the minions. While they have no more Nexus turrets.
Winions for MVP, am I right?
Yeah. We'll see if they can get this last inhibitor as Mudkips gets chunked by Maya, gets ulted into the face by the Craves. And Maya is legendary, trying to say, we're not here to lose on such small terms. We're going to go in as Uncle Jemima ulties in for Jumper J and Necro Guy. Necro Guy gets polymorphed, ultied in by It's Your Boy. Maya gets the kill as Jumper J almost kills Maye, but Maye is holding on to D-Lead. Maye gets shut down by Jumper J. That's 1,000 gold. And Lucida gets a kill on Wheels on the Bus as Hiramar did, trying to end the game. Finally ultis
Oh, and
And it doesn't get it.
UTD trying to do anything they can to end the game, and Oof is just saying, "No, it is not time." Oh,
Now,
that is so funny.
As Jumper J got the 1,000 gold shutdown on Maye, Maye still has 1,000 gold shutdown on his head. As in these shutdowns, they stack up on each other, so once you get the shutdown, it carries over. So it looks like Ash is trying to solo this Elder Dragon.
Ooh.
Catches out Elucida hiding in the bush. Elucida's just waiting for the right time to see if he can steal this Elder Drake. Pings to signal for careful as Ash disengages from the Elder Drake as Elucida tries to get the quick pickup steal. It's your boy fending off Freedom Penguin. Elucida smites the Elder Drake and gets the Elder Drake as Ash almost dies from the Horn. Wow. What an
Now,
unfortunate series of events for UTD, but what a great pickup from Elucida. Seeing and waiting.
I think that they made a bad decision right there. I think that Elder Drake was UTD's.
That Elder Drake was for sure.
Yeah, and I think had Ash just decided to stay on there, she had backup. Freedom Penguin had backup coming, and but as soon as
Elucida gets knocked up trying to steal Baron, but it couldn't. And yeah, as you were saying, with UTD's Elder Drake, I think they were just trying to rush it at the wrong time. They had the right idea, but at the wrong time. But with Elucida down there, looking to end the game with a Baron, the Mudkips, with a lot of damage from his Ezreal WQ. We'll see if Luth can hold off this last Baron push, or if this could be the end. Jumper Jake getting a lot of damage onto Ash. One ulti coming in, knocks up Maye. Maye getting low, stunned into Jumper J, ulti shut down onto Vel'Koz. Necro guy gets a knockup onto Uncle Jemima, while Uncle Jemima kills Ezreal. Graves kills Leona, and ulti on Uncle Jemima. Shuts down and ace, and that is game.
That is all she wrote. Wow. What? Well, I will be the first to say that I was in the call that that Oof was gonna take that one right away there. What man? What are your immediate thoughts after that?
It was, to be honest, it was a back and forth game. You saw both sides picking really good picks into the trying to transition from early and mid game to late game. You saw Oof having tremendous control, amazing control into using Rift Herald topside for that first turret gold. But those early kills from UTD really showed what Maye can do on a champion like Graves that just does a lot of damage, and if he can get a follow-up from a Lulu knockup or a Malphite knockup, it was just too much. And I commend Oof for the amount of delay that they had and the amount of fight that they had in poke from Jumper J, but it was not enough because the hard engage from Malphite Lulu was just amazing display on what CC champs can do for a group. Oof in the early game did not get the kills that they needed bot lane to steamroll. Leona Ezreal being a very good lane, but Lulu Ashe had just enough poke and enough sustain that they're able to just not get the favor that they needed, while Graves was just able to get the kills that he needed and get the farm. And like I said, like if it went into late game, UTD was heavily favored, but me personally, I thought Oof had a really good team comp as well. Congrats on both sides, to be honest. It was a good fight.
Yeah, and looking at the damage charts here, I mean, Maye pumping out so much especially to objectives here. Uh, and let's see,
You
overall
see
damage.
Vel'Koz damage?
Yeah, that's yeah. So we're gonna put the Twitch chat MVP. Go ahead and follow that link there and vote for your. It, I think I'd like to hear your opinion on this too, but as much as Freedom um, started out with that, 506, whatever he was at before he died, I feel like I would have to give this one to Maye. Um, Maye was instrumental in a lot of the happenings here
Yeah, I'm going to
in
have to
this game.
agree. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. Maye, despite losing that early scuttle crab, was able to pull back and regain composition. Me personally, if I get a scuttle crab stolen from me early, it's a tilter. But he was able to recompose himself and was able to get the early kills that he needed to snowball into late game. And what a great show on what Graves jungle can do. And it's not really, Graves is not as meta as other champs. Like you're seeing Conqueror Rek'Sai come up in higher elo, and it has a place in solo queue, but Maye just showing that some of these AD ranged junglers like Graves or like Kindred can still have a place into this meta.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, do we have any more comments for game one?
No, GG's to both teams. They both played into really good into their team comp, but UTD was just able to snowball into late game better than Oof was able to.
Yeah. And
As in the comments, Freedom Penguin says, please no more tank tops, game's too long.
yeah, it definitely. So we're gonna take a quick break to kind of reset the stream for game two, and we will be back in a few.
Do you want me to cut it?
Yeah.
Okay.